I'm Nisa Jamila and I'm here today on behalf of PSC, and we're here with Palestinian Solidarity Movement. We are going to be marching to Dorset Council to tell BCP Council and Dorset Council they must divest 173 million that they are currently investing into illegal apartheid settlements, into bombs and into genocide. They must divest, they must follow the other 12 councils who have already done so. They are being physically irresponsible. They are breaking international law by continuing to invest in these companies, and we demand that they divest today.
I'm Fida Shaheen, Palestine Solidarity Movement, and we are here today to speak to Dorset Council during one of their full council meetings to demand, not to ask, to demand that they stop investing in complicit companies. Many councils already divested because it's not right. You cannot build your future, you cannot secure your future when it's like soaking in blood. You have to stop investing in these companies. You have to divest. There are plenty of other choices for you. Lower risk, more ethical, same return. So it is time to divest now. Stop investing in complicit companies. Stop being part of this genocide.
Hello, Councillor John Orrell, representing one of the areas of Weymouth. I'm here today as a member of the council to argue that we should divest from any investment in arms firms. Sadly, the council has a pensions fund. Some of it is invested in firms which supply arms to Israel, and we're calling for that to stop, for the investment to come out, so we don't support the genocide.
Free Palestine.
Good afternoon and welcome to this meeting of the Dorset Pension Fund Committee on Tuesday, 24th of June 2025. For the benefit of the public attending today or watching on live stream, I am Councillor Andy Canning. I'm the chairman of this committee. My vice chair to my right here is Councillor Andy Todd.
I speak today as a constituent of Dorset, an SRA-regulated solicitor with over 10 years' experience in the city, and a businesswoman. Gaza is not an open-air prison because being born Palestinian is not a crime. To be in prison, you must commit a crime and be tried in order to pass your time there. A place you are being held purely on the basis of your ethnicity is a concentration camp. As someone who has spent more than a decade advising PLCs, investors, and local authorities, never in my wildest dreams did I think I would have to point out the pitfalls of investing in a regime with a concentration camp. With the current death toll being just under 400,000 as reported by the Israeli Occupation Force data. To contextualise, that is every single person in Dorset either reported dead or missing under the rubble. There are 15 million Palestinians on this planet. Do you think that when the dust has settled, they will not come for their reparations? They will. And at that time, the investments that you are currently making will be virtually wiped out. Are you really willing to gamble with people's pensions in this way? For what purpose? Just to say that you're supporting a dying regime. In your investment strategy, you are required to consider financially material risks and the potential impact on the financial returns of those risks if they are not managed effectively. Murdering thousands of people in a concentration camp is not a risk that can be managed. How will you manage the council's reputational risk when pension holders realise they are invested in mass slaughter? We are going to tell them, and we are going to be extremely loud about it. The investment strategy also requires the responsible allocation of capital leading to sustainable benefits to the environment and society. The Guardian reports that Israel's mass slaughter in the first 15 months will be, and I quote, greater than the annual planet warming emissions of 100 individual countries. Not what I would call beneficial to the environment, is it? 10 councils have already divested. I know for a fact that one day you too will vote to divest. And that day is coming soon, because the truth of what the council is invested in is being uncovered, and the financial cost and risks to Dorset will keep growing and eating away at pension returns. The time to manage that risk is now, and the way to manage that risk is to divest entirely and immediately. I'm going to hand you over to Feda.
Hi, my name is Feda, and they call me... Hi, my name is Feda, and they call me Free Palestine. I'm here talking to you today, not as business people. I'm here talking to you today, not as business people, not as people who will look into facts. Not as people who will look into facts and make informed decisions. I'm talking to you as humans now. Because my friend, my colleague in diaspora, another Palestinian, did point out the risks, that you're facing. And I can tell you as a risk management expert with a PhD from Warwick University that you are risking your money big time, because what you're investing in is a genocide. What you're investing in is a regime that is gonna disappear in, I promise you, less than 10 years. I'm talking to you as humans here. Pensions is about future, about your future. It's a safeguarding. Would you be your safeguarding and the future of your children? Would you like it to be built on other people's ruins, on other people's coffins? Is this what you want as people? Dorset has a proud tradition of justice. Do you want to continue that tradition, or do you choose to stick to what the stupid advisors are telling you, those who put 1 and 1 and they come out with 1,000 for a reason, people who are brainwashing you all the time and tell you this is the right thing to do? I can assure you, divesting is the best for you, financially, morally, ethically. And one day you will be able to look in the eyes of your children and tell them, we did divest. This future, the money I'm leaving you with, the legacy I built, wasn't built on a genocide. We stood there and we made a decision and we did divest. I want you to wake up. I want you as humans to wake up and make a decision. Thank you. And Free Palestine!
Councillor John Orrell, Melcombe Regis, Weymouth. Partial apology that these questions are probably a bit repetitive, but there's also not an apology there, because we need to keep asking these questions until we see some bold action. It's sort of gradualism. Gradualism is all very well, but we need the deaths are happening every day, so we need action today. So my question, money has become the measure of all things, mammon enthroned on high, but is pension a cold, non-moral calculation? If it is, it risks becoming amoral and in turn immoral. Does it have to be this way? I would like to suggest there are counterweights in this scale of values, money on one side. On the other side, I put it to you that we should have the people and planet. People are being killed directly by weapons used on innocent children in Gaza. Should we profit from this business? So the question, will the council divest from fossil fuels and weapons firms which are then used on civilians in Gaza today?
The Dorset Pension Fund holds £173.9 million in companies complicit in Israel's multiple breaches of international law, including enforcing apartheid, maintaining the illegal occupation of Palestinian territories as ruled by the International Court of Justice last year, and now carrying out a genocidal extermination campaign in Gaza that has seen over 55,000 Palestinians killed, over 18,000 of whom were children. Another 43,000 children have been orphaned. More and more people are now dying of starvation due to a deliberately enforced famine that the UK government calls morally unjustifiable. Whilst many of those that do try and access aid at the new militarised distribution centres are shot and killed whilst waiting in line for a bag of flour. Many more civilians continue to die from preventable causes due to the targeted destruction of Gaza's healthcare system, where every single hospital has now been bombed and most are now completely out of service. Gaza has the highest number of child amputees in the world due to the indiscriminate bombing and the destruction of appropriate medical facilities and supplies, including even anaesthetic to relieve the pain of children having their limbs torn apart. The pension fund invests directly in companies arming Israel, including BAE Systems, Elbit Systems, L3 Harris, Leonardo, and Lockheed Martin, to name just a few. There are many other investments in companies that are directly complicit in these atrocities and in the illegal settlements in occupied Palestine, for which the ICJ urges sanctions and arms embargoes. It is not only morally unjustifiable for this pension fund to continue investing close to £174 million in companies complicit in these atrocities, but it may also be against international law. Facilitating the transfer of weapons and ammunition to Israel may constitute serious violations of human rights and international law. So what concrete steps will this committee take to ensure public funds do not support these atrocities nor the destruction of our planet? And with more and more pension funds around the country committing to divest, will this committee also make the same commitment?
Whatever we do and however we impact on that fund means pounds out of the pockets of pensioners and people receiving their benefits, and the balance of the fund. So if I can finish, if you could explain that reasoning, I think that would help people understand the three things that we set out, the reason why we've done that, the amount of time that we've taken deliberating and discussing this, because it's not obvious to people in this chamber that we've had a long discussion about this item, and it's a very important one. So can we please have that understanding, please? Thank you. Can we have the explanation that I asked for so that people do understand in the gallery, David, why we're bound.
Right, okay, we'll suspend the meeting for 5 minutes and ask for the public to be removed from the area, please.